Super. BS.
Are we good?
We are good. We're
My
live.
computer froze. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Super BS Gamescast. I'm your host, your substitute host, as our resident baby boy is out exploring, vacationing, making balloon animals for foreign countries. Putting smiles on the kids' faces everywhere. I am your host, Josh Peterson, otherwise known as Jank the Despised. I'm joined here by a man who needs no introduction, a man with the originator of all the podcasts on the internet, Gerald Glassford. What's up, man?
Oh, we miss you, Frank. Doing okay. I just got back from the post office. Sent out a good friend of ours on that appears on the Pop Culture Cosmos, TJ Johnson, because he said, now get this, Jank, because he came to me. He said, dude, he's done this before. He's asked before. I think it was for a Wolverine game, but they didn't have it. He said, do you know anyone in your area that might have Days Gone, the original PS4 version? And I'm like, I'll go ask my good friends at Retrosty Games. Why? What's up? He says in his area, which is Midwest, he said that they're charging $50 a pop for the used copies of Days Gone because they jacked up the rates because Days Gone Remastered came out on PlayStation. So first thing I said was, let me see what my good friends at Retro City Games has. Went down there, got one for him. So I just mailed that out to him. So I hope he enjoys that. Curious why he wants to play the original. I didn't really go into that. Next time I'm going to talk to him, I'll ask why he wants to play the original as opposed to the remaster. But I found it at a very fair price. So much less than what they were charging in Chicago. So shout out to Retro City Games on that. But kind of let me thinking, my friend, maybe all my copies of Oblivion might be worth a whole lot more now with Oblivion Remastered. Turns out, no.
I don't think Elder Scrolls games. Yeah, well, Oblivion and Skyrim. I don't think any of the Elder Scrolls games are ever going to hold value unless they make one out of solid gold.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, what, Skyrim sold over 60 million copies, so and it's like been put on everything. It put on calculators, Alexas, stuff like that. So yeah, I was kind of bummed about that. But yes, I'm a man of my word, Josh. Over the weekend, I said to you before in the past that I will put my money where my mouth is. If Xbox and Bethesda ever puts out an Oblivion remastered or remake, I'm going to buy it in full. And you know what? Even though I have Game Pass, I did. I spent the money. I bought the deluxe edition, and it's waiting for me. After I get through Doom the Dark Ages here in a couple weeks, I'm going to go heavy into Oblivion before we get to our next title right here, my friend, on my shirt.
How are you resisting Oblivion? I don't understand. Like, Oblivion's your game, man. Like, how are you not playing this game?
Well, again, I wanted to wait until I was, as I said, my family wanted me to wait because they were going to buy it for me as a present. But I said, I'm just going to buy it anyway. So I bought it. And then the thing with that is, for me, I just want to get into it. When I get into it, I know that's it. That's over. All other games will cease to exist in my world. So I want to go ahead and finish off. And I just finished last night again. Avowed. I finished off some more stuff. I got to level 30, which gets you an extra achievement. So I finished that off and I'm done. Now I'm going to go ahead and get more into Indiana Jones in the next 10 days or so. Try to do that. Do as much as I can. Then get into Doom the Dark Ages. Play as much as that I can. Let my Game Pass expire. and then I'm going to go ahead and get into Oblivion there because it's all gone after that, and then hopefully I will still have time when our subject of one of our news stories comes up here in just a little bit.
All right, I'm gonna. I know you didn't ask, but I'm gonna give you a little check in for my Oblivion experience right now. All right, so I got out of the
I,
sewers.
by the way, Josh, I know you got it. So how is Oblivion remastered for you, my friend?
I am so glad you asked. No, so I got out of the sewers. All right, I remember for some reason I remember those sewers being a lot like more like what am I trying to say? Bigger? Does that make sense? Like I thought, or maybe I was just confusing
Yes.
it with sewers elsewhere. Like I don't know, but um, got out of there,
Well,
no
you're
problem.
always in a jail with Elder Scrolls games. For some reason, you're always just in a jail. So
Yeah,
that
just
just
a
blows my
prisoner
mind.
all the time. Yeah.
Yes.
So I went to what's the place you gotta go to? Wayne and Priory, and
Mm-hmm.
I talked to the guy who knew about the
Mm-hmm.
king's son. Now I'm off looking for the king's son, illegitimate son, maybe like bastard
Yes.
child. I
Yes.
don't know what
Sean
the
Bean is who you're looking for. You're
that's
looking for
right.
Sean Bean.
That's right.
Yes. Martin.
So what?
Martin is his name.
Martin, that's right. Okay. Good old
Yes.
Martin. I'm venturing off trying to find Martin. Okay. I forgot just how much traveling you do in the beginning of that game. Like I remember doing it when I first got it and I walked I didn't take the path, like I walked off the beaten path like thinking like, "Oh, I'll run into creatures and stuff and level up on my way there." But one I've been traversing over like hills and mountains and stuff, and I've only killed like 6 dogs. So I don't know if they've like put less things in this world or what's going on. Maybe I'm just getting lucky here, but haven't encountered any bears yet, so that's good. But yeah, I'm enjoying it. I know I'm like you when I sit down and actually play it, I'm gonna be stuck to it. So I'm trying to finish Expedition 33. I'm about 7 hours in right now. I think it's like a 16-hour game somewhere thereabouts.
Mm-hmm.
I want to do I still at some point want to go back and finish South of Midnight. And yeah, Doom is coming out next week. So I don't think I'm going to be finishing any of these games anytime soon. I think I'm probably until the end of the summer I'm just going to be dabbling a little bit in like each of them until
Mm-hmm.
eventually I roll credits on them. But I'm not like our friend Branky Poo who starts games and doesn't really ever finish them. So I got I gotta roll those credits, man. I gotta roll the credits. Let me ask you a question though.
Mm-hmm.
Are you looking forward to Doom? I know you said you're gonna play it, but
Yes.
do you think Doom are Doom games traditionally games that you will roll credits on, or do you just kind of jump in and jump out?
Um, I jump in, jump out with the later versions. The earlier versions, I would play through hours. I've told you my stories in regards to Doom and Doom 2. In fact, I had a recent conversation with one of our good friends on a subject I can't really go into. I'll on camera. I'll go with you off camera, but I think I actually already told you. Um, in regards to my time with Doom earlier on in the 90s, when you don't have a plethora of games at your levy. And I talked about my time playing it on the computer, on the Amiga, on on PCs. And then I talked to you before about how I played with it on the big SGI workstations as far as the multiplayer match. So that was a really lot of fun. Yes, earlier back in the day, I used to go through it quite a bit more than I did for later versions, even though I know they've gotten better since they rebooted the franchise back in what mid 20s, tens, like 2016 or so, like that. Um, but yeah, I'm looking forward to this, and I'm hoping that I will actually hook me all the way this time. It will hook me all the way. That's what I'm hoping. They usually give me a nice hook, but not enough to where I want to complete it. So I'm
Yeah,
hoping that that's the case. I mean, Avowed, I did not expect to stay with Avowed, and that one just that gameplay just hooked
I
me.
got
You know,
its
hook,
hooks
line, and
into
sinker.
you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I played the original Doom reboot. Is just called Doom. I never did Doom
I played.
the
Remember, I played. I'm so old. I played Doom on shareware. to tell you how old.
Yeah. Well, I remember playing those. Like, I remember playing the original Doom and like Castlevania, I think, on my uncle's computer. But the Doom reboot, I played that one. What was the last one to come out before this one? Doom Eternal.
Doom Eternal.
Yeah, I never played Doom Eternal. But Dark Ages, I'll probably jump in and check it out because
That's right
the
there
Doom
on
game.
Games Pass, looking
I
at you.
know you have to. I have to
It's
play
in
it.
the D section.
Yeah. So I'm definitely gonna check it out. I'm getting a little burnt out on Pal World. Still trying to get through that one. That one gets a little challenging in the later levels, so I might.
That's okay.
Uh,
Nintendo will burn it down for you.
yeah, right. Uh, okay, so you went and saw Thunderbolts. All right,
I
tell
did.
me your thoughts on Thunderbolts. Don't spoil too much, but tell me your
Okay.
thoughts. Is this
Well, this is Cosmos. We're getting the Cosmos in here. I know that Brank doesn't usually like when you bring in Cosmos stuff in here, but
I just need to know, man. I didn't get to
all
talk
right.
to you about it, so
I
where?
I I
Oh, sorry. Go
I
ahead.
really I liked it. I liked it. I've seen it twice. I saw it once with my Marvel crazy daughter, and I saw it with the entire family this past weekend. Um, we all liked it, and I thought it was one of the better as far as it's in my upper third of Marvel movies. You can see exactly where it places on the popculturecosmos.wordpress.com site that we founded. My Marvel list, the entire MCU, I've put from 1 to 30, whatever it is now. So yes, you can see where it falls there, but I gave it a positive score. I think, Jake, you've been very honest and open about your, I guess, dealings with the mental health part of things in certain parts of aspects of your life. Before, in some of your best articles are in my opinion are of that. I think this is something that I think you'll really appreciate how Marvel respectfully and really goes to bat for mental health and mental health issues. I'm not sure younger audiences will get it, but I know older audiences will come to understand it and appreciate it. And the fact that the themes of how if one works together, you can get more accomplished in battling issues of this nature really come to play. I'll leave it at that. It is one of the better. We came from one of the worst, actually, or the worst after credit scene in Brave New World. Come out to one of the better ones. I'll just say that it's the longest one on record. But I will also
Directed by
say that
the Russos, right? They recorded it during the filming of Doomsday.
yes, it is actually directed by the Russos. To let you know. So I want to say this. There is something missing that outside of that, it's a really good one, but there's something missing in the after credit scene. Or they just talked about it offhandedly. I wish they had actually had a scene of because they did something in Brave New World that would have, and should have done something in Thunderbolts, the same way. But again, outside of that, it's a really solid movie, and I encourage people to go see it, even though it's no longer the Thunderbolts, man. As of today, they ripped off the banners, they ripped off the billboards. It's now the New Avengers.
I saw that. I'm pretty sure this is probably a marketing plan by Marvel since the beginning, but
Hmm.
yeah, I saw
I like Thunderbolts better, just for the record. Just
yeah.
I like Thunderbolts. Yeah.
So Sebastian Stan, I guess, was walking around Los Angeles earlier, putting new posters up over the old posters. So people have been like snapping pictures of them all day, trying to catch them.
It's around the area where, to give you an idea, it's around the area where I used to work near Paramount Studios. So
Yeah.
yeah, yep. That's trust me, there are a ton of advertising for movies in and around that area, and I'll just leave it at that. But
Hey, hold on one second. Hold on one second.
okay, I'm holding on. One.
Yo, what up, bro?
Hey, what's up? You're live on the Super BS Gamescast.
Oh, yeah. Can you guys hear me or no?
Gerald, can you hear him?
Yes, I can, Brinky Poo.
Hey, how you been? I'm sorry that I'm not there right now. I've been doing some globe trotting as of late. What are you guys discussing?
We're just talking a little bit about the Thunderbolts because I was curious if you liked it.
I didn't watch the Thunderbolts at all. Did you watch it, Gerald?
I did, and I give it a positive thumbs up.
Positive thumbs up.
Positive thumbs up. Did you guys? I don't want to keep this episode with me on it the whole time, or else it's going to sound really bad because of my audio. But did you guys get to discuss Grand Theft Auto 6 or no?
You're spoiling things. We literally just started the show, and you're jumping in here, trying to run the show when you're gone. You're supposed to be making balloons.
Just like
for
Breaky Poo.
kids. Yeah.
That's exactly what I do for poor kids. How do you know my business? Balloons for kids. We don't actually give them food. They're starving. We don't give them food. We just give them balloons instead.
Yeah.
We find it to be a better thing. It's like, well, you can eat those if you want, okay?
Oh,
Okay,
man.
I'll let you guys go because this will probably be poor audio quality, but I'm excited to hear your thoughts on GTA 6. And next week, excited to go a deep dive in with you guys. We discuss Switch 2 and all the other crazy stuff. I'm assuming you're going to talk about the big Microsoft news today too. So it is a crazy time for gaming, but I will let you guys go.
Okay. All right.
Hey,
That sounds
enjoy
good.
the Thunderbolts.
You keep doing the balloon thing. All right. We're here. We're rooting for you. You always have a home to come home to. All right.
Hooray! All right. See you.
Later.
All right.
All right.
That was
Last
Breaky
question
Poo.
before we. That was Branky Poo. Last question before we dive into some games. Have you had it? Okay, let me ask you a question. You think that every writer writes one great thing and they spend the rest of their career trying to imitate what made that one thing successful?
Yes. I think there are some that are always chasing it because you have that one brief moment in time where you're at the top of your field, whatever vocation it is. And whether it's sports, entertainment, business, politics, what have you. And you spend the rest, especially if it happens at an earlier age, you're going to spend the rest of your life chasing it. I have seen this before many times in the sports and industry and entertainment industry. So, yes, that is to me is the case. And writing as well. You write that great article, you write that great book that sells 10 million copies, and you're chasing that success for the rest of your life.
Exactly. So in video games, right, a good example, Cliffy B, right, who did Gears of War, has been trying to, or he tried several times to make a game that was as good as Gears of War and didn't quite get there.
I still remember, I think it was, I don't know if it was 2010, 2010, 2011, E3. It was like it was the last day, and we're at near the Call of Duty Activision booth. You know, it's like blurring it to 11, and people are just tired. So a lot of the people at E3, they're no longer waiting in lines for anything. They're just sitting on the sides of the aisles. And here comes Cliffy B with a lady arm in arm walking by. The lady's got a mink coat or something that resembles a mink coat as they're walking by, and he has the Cheshire cat grin because he knows at that time he was walking on water at that point in time.
That's right.
But like you said, he left Epic, left Xbox, decided to do his own things, and it just hasn't quite worked out since.
So well, Ken Levine too is another one, right? With BioShock, like he did the 3.
I also told you before that at another E3, I think following year, that one of the doctors who used to own BioWare when they did Mass Effect, me and a couple of the guys from the old Game Source. We went there and we were in the restroom, and both of them were in there. And I'll just say one of these doctors, who are actually doctors in real life, or at that time they were, one of them didn't wash their hands when they.
Oh no! What was that? Poor hygiene. Like this is
from a doctor, man.
Commander Shepard, for crying out loud.
Yes, a doctor, man. I'll just leave it at that.
Okay, well, when it comes to the world of anime, I guess the big one would be hold on, I gotta remember.
Akira. To me, as Akira, I told you for me, it was so hard getting into Demon Slayer at first because, which I appreciate now, and other anime, One Piece, etc., because the first ever anime I saw was Akira. And
Yes.
for me, it's just like, okay, I'm not, and I wasn't chasing finding another Akira because I don't think I'll ever see another Akira in my lifetime.
No.
But at that point in time, the people behind Akira were probably chasing
Oh, for
that
sure.
ever since.
So speaking of that, all right, I want to ask you. I'm leading into something with this. Shinichiro Watanabe, right, the guy who created Cowboy Bebop. So he is someone who it seems for his entire career has been chasing the success of Cowboy Bebop. We had Samurai Champloo. He did a couple other ones that are sort of insignificant, but Samurai Champloo was like the closest he got to like reaching that level of Cowboy Bebop. But now on Max, he has another one called Lazarus. Have you had a chance to watch this?
No, but I have heard of it in the news cycles. So yes, I have
So
not been able to see it.
yeah. So it's about 7 episodes in. They do weekly releases. There's one that was bought up by Adult Swim, and it is I don't know, it has everything that made Cowboy Bebop like cool to watch, like the fast animations, the cool fight scenes, the music, but it's just the story is just lacking. And I feel like he's chasing that Cowboy Bebop emotional punch and the great story and everything that made that one so great. And this is just another one that's gonna like fall short because you can't top Cowboy Bebop. Yeah, I mean, I hate to say it. I love the guy's animations, but man, Cowboy Bebop was just so far ahead of its time. I don't think anything will ever outdo the storytelling in that. Not the Netflix one, the anime.
Mhm. I kind of like the Netflix one. You and I went over this on the Cosmos when it came out. I liked it. I know it didn't get its proper run. I know that John Cho was, people thought he was too old, etc., etc. I liked it. I really liked where it was going. I understand some of the characters were not utilized to its best extent. Looking back on it after the fact, according to some, I like the look, I like the feel, I like the stories. To me, I was invested in it, and it just sorry to see it didn't get another chance in another season. But that was just me. So.
I was going to say, I think if it had an opportunity to run another season, it could have turned the ship around. But that was a really short lifespan for that one.
Yes, I agree. I agree, my friend.
All right.
Man, so much Cosmos talk, so much pop culture talk,
I
man.
didn't get to talk to you this weekend, and I know people
I
sometimes
know. Well,
jump in and talk to us about this stuff. So,
I love talking pop culture and pop culture cosmos. I just in the back of my head, the little Branky poo that sits right here. He says, "Pop culture,
we
not
gotta move
gaming
on to the next
time."
topic. I gotta be in bed by 7 o'clock, man. That's our
Yes,
Branky Poo right there. The
I
baby
know.
boy
I'm
gotta
telling you.
get his sleep. All right, today on the docket, we got 5
You need your
stories.
sleep to blow those balloon animals.
He's winded. He's got to go to sleep and get all his breath back. All right, shall we jump into some games?
Of course, my friend.
Today we have 5 stories plus a little bonus that our buddy Gerald Glassford here wants to talk about. All right. Let's see, where can we start? First off is a smaller one. This comes from IGN by our friend Michael Kripe here. Gearbox Studios just wrapped up its Borderlands 4 State of Play, revealing 20 minutes of new gameplay and details from its highly anticipated looter shooter. The presentation hops right into the action with the promise that the 2025 Borderlands entry is the studio's best and most grounded outing yet, promising major gameplay changes that range from new traversal abilities to loot drop formula changes. Gearbox managed to fill the 20-minute showcase with reveals about how Borderlands 4 ups the ante with new mechanics, refreshed existing features, and we've got all the highlights down here. So they specifically highlight the movement abilities, the guns and manufacturers, the story, the multiplayer. So I watched this, and I don't really see. I'm excited to be on a different planet that's not Pandora. I'm excited to check out these new Vault Hunters, right? I think they said they're going to have was it 4 at launch, and then they always add more. I don't know, man. Did you get a chance to catch this one?
Yes, I did. Because I told you I saw the gameplay. I got a chance to see the gameplay, not the extended full 20 minutes of it, but I did get to see the shortened trailers that were out there. I mean, it looks like Borderlands.
It looks
Borderlands
like
has already. Yeah, I don't see it. It's a huge leap or something that I know it's going, like you said, it's going to a different planet. Um, but I don't know. Is Handsome Jack? I wish he was involved in this. Just some type of identifying character that antagonist that you're fighting against. I don't know. I just want something more. And I just don't see anything that was going to reignite my passion for Borderlands, because I was so excited for the original Borderlands and I played a ton of hours in the original Borderlands. Then Borderlands 2 came around. Tried that out. I got, I think, one of the Borderlands or two of the Borderlands like on the cheap later on, a few years later. I've never actually gone into it as far as some of the other stuff is again. So I am like, I don't know. I just need something to reignite my passion for Borderlands, and I haven't seen anything yet that will do so. I know they adjusted, which before the next announcement that you'll have from 2K upcoming here in a sec, they adjusted the release date on it, if I'm not mistaken, like about 10 days or so, or week or so.
I'm
Something
sorry, I
like
was telling my kids not to stream something. What did you just say?
that Borderlands 4 is, they adjusted the date in advance
10
of,
days. Yes, sir. Yes,
yeah,
sir.
yes, because that was the first announcement from 2K. Then you're going to hear the another announcement from 2K that came last week after that here in a second. But yeah, just 10 days. It's not a big deal. But yeah, I'm not a huge fan of Borderlands. So, but anymore, I wish I was. I just don't have that passion for it. But who knows? If it gets enough buzz, I may try it.
It's okay. So Borderlands is a game that is best enjoyed with friends. They say like a good drink
Yes.
is best shared amongst friends. Borderlands is a good drink to share amongst friends. By yourself, though, not it's not as great. So I'm a lifelong Borderlands fan. Like I remember seeing the original trailer. I remember they had a different animation style. Like, oh, that could be really cool. And then they came out with like the cartoony looking animation, which was it was fine. It accomplished the tone the game was going for, and I really liked Claptrap. Borderlands 2, I remember spending days and days and probably multiple years playing this game with Big Dog, my brother, Brian Kane. And that was one that, yeah, it was one where you get on with your buddies and you play and you just have a good time. Borderlands 3 was one that was more catered to people who were, it took a more like RPG, skill building RPG turn. And that was not, I struggled with Borderlands 3. I don't think I would go back and play Borderlands 3. So I'm hoping that Borderlands 4 is kind of, I know they have the skill trees, but I'm hoping it kind of balances out the skill tree mechanics with the gameplay and the story. Like I want them to go back to what made Borderlands 2 so great, but I also realize that saying that doesn't leave any room for the game, for the franchise to evolve and get better. But I also like, I don't know how they could make the franchise better. Like it seems like if they're sticking to the animation style, sticking to the comedy style, I don't know like how far into meme culture and modern I say like modern internet stuff they're going to get into in this one, but you kind of get what you get with Borderlands. It's not something that is ever going to be mind blowing. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Like
Yes,
it is
I
what
agree.
it is, and I
Yeah.
I think that people who love the original Borderlands will love this, and people who are jumping on for the first time will still love this game. But it's not like and I could be wrong. I could eat my shoes when the game comes out, but I don't think it's going to be any like massive jump in one direction or another. I think it's just kind of like, okay, well, here's another Borderlands game, and yeah, there's that.
I just think again, Borderlands, I need something to go ahead and move the needle for me back in its direction. And after playing 1 and 2, I just don't have it, man. But maybe, if I do get a handheld, maybe that's something maybe something I think would be real neat as far as in that looking through it through the scope of maybe playing it through a handheld or something else, just something different to throw into it. Maybe I could see myself getting interested in Borderlands 4, but paying $80, which was what we will be at that point in time for a brand new copy of Borderlands 4, if it doesn't do things, oh gosh, because you want to keep it the same for the Borderlands community, but
Yeah.
you also want to try and attract it to a newer audience, which again seems to be the theme of the day. All these older IPs, will they relate to a new audience? We see Oblivion becoming one of the biggest hits of the year, so the answer for that was yes, but it doesn't always work that way. So we'll see what happens with Borderlands. 2K had to adjust their earnings because of where they moved Borderlands 4, and also as well your next news item on it as far as 2K. So again, they're counting a lot of Borderlands 4 to save whatever prospects they have, which have been greatly decreased from what they were asking for earlier this year when Randy Pitchford, I think the CEO of Gearbox, who we've talked about
Why is
before.
he still there? I mean, after all the scandal that he's caused that company.
Watch those thumb drives.
I know.
Yes.
People
But he
probably
said
find him-
he said he was sure it was going to come out. He said it was sure that it would have a packed second half of the year, and just only going to end up being the usual one game and whatever 2K Sports is going to do for him.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we'll see how it goes. I mean, I'm gonna play it. I don't know.
You're
if
the
it's
Borderlands expert. I've said this to you for years ago. So if you connect with it, I might
to get on and do a playthrough.
Yes, that sounds interesting indeed. Hello, get handed a baby. There you go.
No, there she is.
There you go.
All right, this next one is hot off the press. You actually told me about this one today. Gears of War Reloaded coming in summer. This comes from IGN. This is by Rachel Weber. Happy Monday. Just announced Gears of War Reloaded, a remaster of the original 2006 game that will launch on August 26 on Xbox, PC, and PlayStation. The shiny new version will come with improved visuals and audio crossplay and cross progression and all the DLC that the Gears of War from Gears of War Ultimate Edition. Here's a quote: "As we approach the 20th anniversary of Gears of War in 2026, we're reflecting on what this franchise means. It's about the stories we've told, the friendships we've built, and the unforgettable moments we've shared together. With Gears of War Reloaded, we're opening that door to more players than ever," said Mike Crump, studio head at the Coalition, in the announcement post. So, here's some of the things the game boasts. We got 4K resolution, 60 FPS in campaign, 120 FPS in multiplayer, high dynamic range, Dolby Vision, 7.1.4 Dolby Atmos, 7.1.4 3D spatial audio, variable refresh rate, 4K assets, remastered textures, enhanced post-processing visual effects, improved shadows and reflections, super resolution with improved anti-aliasing, zero loading screens during campaign. So basically, it's Gears of War Ultimate Edition with a, I guess, newer coat of paint.
We'll have to see if there's any changes being made to the fundamental game style as well. I would have loved to have seen a trailer for this, my friend, but they only supplied us pictures, which was kind of disappointing.
It's was it what they say, September release date?
I thought you said August 26th.
August 26th. Yeah, sorry, I had to scroll back up. Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at some of the visuals here. I can let's see, share.
And that's coming out, by the way, for everyone on PC, Xbox, and Game Pass, and also as well PlayStation 5. Because, you know, Xbox is the most prolific PlayStation 5 performer right there. So, yes, that's the view right there from before and after as far as what it was in 2006. Is it 2006 all over again?
I don't know. I mean, okay, so look at the original one. Yeah, that's dealing with the 360 graphics. Ultimate Edition looked a little bit better, but I honestly I see a little bit more texture in the 60 frames per second picture. But I don't see anything that's like, wow. Wow, this is a whole new thing. Like, it's not enough to make me want to go out, and it's on Games Pass, so I'll play it. But if it wasn't on Games Pass, it's not enough to make me want to go, oh man, I want to spend another $40 to $60 on this thing.
again, it just amazing the timing of these 2006 games from Xbox, both being brought out, Oblivion and now Gears of War. We'll see what happens. Comes out of what, a $40 price tag, I believe it is. So I mean, and obviously it's a because the anniversary is coming up next year, the 20th anniversary. So E-Day is coming up next year. So if that's the case, well, we think it's coming out next year, Gears of War E-Day. So if it is coming out on the 20th anniversary, what better timing for Gears of War? It's so weird because they love doing everything like 19 years in. Oblivion was 19 years in on the remaster, and Gears of War is 19 years in. It's like, okay, well, can't wait for 20.
Wonder what's next. Yeah, it's for real. Like what's coming around the bend here?
Let's look at all the 2006 games, Josh. Yeah, there is.
I'm still, so this
Fable. But the deck come out in 2006.
They remade Fable, didn't they? Like they did a remake of that one on the 360. I remember it's like one of the very last games to come out for the 360 was a remastered Fable.
Really? Okay. You're right on that probably. So yeah, at Fable Anniversary, I think just what they were. Yeah, right.
That was another one where Microsoft was doing anniversary games, right? They had the Halo Anniversary came out like 6 months before that.
Yeah, it came out in 2004. So yeah, it would ruin the 2006 motif there. But yeah, I'm excited for it. As you see, I got the shirt. I'll play through it again, whether it's co-op or single. I'll do it. I think they're doing a little bit of thing where you can send a friend a code and you can play co-op with him, whether they have Game Pass or not. I think, or something like that. So.
It's cross so you play across PC, PlayStation, and Xbox, which will be cool.
Yeah. And the multiplayer I played for over a year. I remember my friends and I or my employees as well at the game store. We would go every night. Okay, we'll see you after work. And then we go on and do that. And it just I was old school. I would just try to do the chainsaw, and of course they did the run the crouch run where you run and just do the shotgun and just man, they get so old, it gets so tiring. So I would try to find corners and angles where I could get them with the chainsaw.
The chainsaw didn't always respond the way you wanted it to, though. Like it had it didn't have a visible like recharge time, but it had an invisible recharge time. You just had to kind of guess when that was going to be.
Exactly. So, but the sad, there's nothing more sad. There's very few things in a video game more satisfying than chainsaw somebody. Yeah. And one of the least satisfying is when you don't do the reload properly, the quick reload properly, and Marcus goes, "Come on!"
Yeah. You're gonna go dumb ammo.
Yes, absolutely. So I'm looking forward to it. Game Pass. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. So I will have played 2 months of Oblivion remastered by that time. So I'm good.
Yeah. Well, I am too. I mean, I've been wanting to introduce my kids to the one, with the violence turned off, of course, the gore. But I've been wanting to introduce my kids to the franchise. So that might be a good time to jump on. It's hard with these the older games though, because we tried to play through the original 2 Halos. We started out with Reach, but it's hard because you don't get those old ones. I would love for them to remake like Gears of War with a 4-player co-op. Because it's hard because I have my 2 older girls all like to play at once. I don't like to have to switch controllers. So if we had 4-player co-op on these games, the original 2 Halos and Gears of War, we wouldn't have to worry about that.
I agree.
I think that's more of a pipe dream than anything else. But yeah, so this game comes out in August, and it'll be on Games Pass, I imagine. So we will have more to talk about it when it reaches its release dates.
Absolutely.
But here we go. Our next story. Oh no. Sorry, my kid just closed my new story.
No worries. I will go ahead and say, because we talked about earlier, I'll set you up on this one then. Because we talked about Borderlands 4 being moved back 10 days. they knew something already was going to go down because a couple days later, 2K announced that there was a delay of their really big game. So I'll let you take it from there, my friend.
I haven't heard this one actually. This is embarrassing. You have to tell me about it.
GTA 6, you know, that little game.
Oh yeah. Okay. So GTA 6. Let's see. Where was my thing here? I got
It got pushed back to just after Memorial Day next year.
Yes.
Yes.
So here's Variety's take on it. They said that GTA is now set to release on May 26, 2026. So this one's written by Todd Spangler and Jennifer Moz. So they had said, we are very sorry that this is a later than you expected. The interest and excitement surrounding a new Grand Theft Auto has been truly humbling for our entire team. We want to thank you for your support and your patience as we work to finish the game. All right. So, they go on to say that every game they release, they want to make sure it's like the best for their fans, and fans waited a long time for this one. What are your thoughts, man? I mean, do you think this really affects interest in the game, or yeah, I mean, it's just
$100 won't affect it. Delay won't affect it. It's going to be the biggest entertainment launch in history. I'm not going to dispute it. I'm not going to dispute the fans' interest for it. Because remember, I told you GTA 4 I lived through in 2008. Was it April release or whenever it got released? When we had a line and people going out the door, and we couldn't satisfy it because at 10 o'clock they hadn't shipped they hadn't delivered my copies of GTA 4. So I had to do over $1,000 in refunds and send them down the street to Walmart. And I had people threatening. But before we made that decision, before we got to go ahead and make that decision, people were threatening my employees with bodily harm right to their face because GTA 4 has. Because it just seems to bring out that in people. I played GTA 4, love GTA 4 as far as some of the different things, because GTA 4, 5, and 6, you don't necessarily have to play the main game, and that's the beauty of it. I did so many things other than playing the main game, like GTA 4 Race. I would play for hours,
yeah,
as far as the multiplayer standpoint, just running through New York. There was certain custom tracks that were made. It was really a lot of fun. GTA 5, you play GTA 5 online, and yeah, that was just a lot of fun doing all sorts of goofy stuff on goofy tracks. The community is just so supportive of it. GTA 6, I'm thinking there's no less right there. So yeah. Um,
So
Rough Artist says GTA 7, by the way, will be in 2016.
I mean, they certainly do take their time on games. I imagine we won't see another Red Dead game for at least 10 years. So, yeah, it'll be a while.
Oh, JSJ is saying GTA 6 will be on the Switch too, so we can pay an extra $200.
They probably will.
It will.
It will. Yeah,
Truly.
it'll make the Switch too at some point. It will. I've seen a lot of publications saying that this is going to highly affect games revenue by missing its release date, but I don't really think so. I mean, they're
for
saying,
this year, yes, it will. 2K and the overall games industry, yes.
2K's games revenue, but I mean, look at there's been a lot of years without a Grand Theft Auto game, as we've seen, and I think that who knows? I mean, there have been plenty of good games already released this year, and probably plenty more to come. So I mean, I don't think we're going to see like huge losses. I think any game trying to compete in the wake of GTA in 2026 when it comes out is going to see probably some pretty big losses on their part. But
but I will say this: I mean, Call of Duty no longer has, even though it's always ends up being like in the one, 2, or 3 slot, it no longer has that je ne sais quoi that it once did. I mean, we had a good Call of Duty last year. It was a good Call of Duty. I played through it. You liked it. I liked it.
yeah.
I think you played, yeah. And it did good, but didn't just like rock the world with its sales. So
Yeah. Yep.
Unless something comes out to replace that, unless Borderlands 4 or something else comes out that really is going to do just that, we'll see. I know that it's going to leave the video game industry this year because of it. Whatever, because I'm sure there were some spring releases that are saying, you know what, maybe we should push it up to Christmas to see if we can maximize their sales since GTA 6 is no longer there.
Yeah. I mean, either way, it's gonna sell, a bunch of copies when the game drops. I'm sure it'll be the top selling game of the year and the top selling game for the next 10 years, as the Grand Theft Auto tends to be. And modders be modding, man, and people are gonna love the game. I don't think there can be a bad Grand Theft Auto game because everybody plays them differently.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree with you. And again, it's in a way it's a lot like Oblivion. You don't have to play the main quest. You could just go off and do a thing, and you got hundreds of hours there for you.
Okay, so we got that one. All right, hold on. I had two more stories, I think.
Well, couple more stories. Yes.
Oh,
Epic.
All right, hold on. Before what's an Epic?
As far as Epic Games, I'm sorry. No, yeah, Steam.
Okay, yeah, that's
Epic,
right. I was getting to it right now, man. All right, so we have this one from Engadget, and this is by Jackie Chin. Cue a new batch of Half-Life 3 confirmed memes. The latest rumors surrounding Valve's long-awaited next installment, the Half-Life series, claims that the game is currently playable end to end and could even be announced in the summer, followed by a release in winter of this year. The speculation comes from Tyler McVicker, who's known for reporting on Valve rumors during his latest Q&A live stream. According to McVicker, the game is currently playable from beginning to end, which he guesses could put it on track for an announcement and release this year. All right, skipping ahead. While these rumors are unconfirmed, they are promising signs of life for Half-Life 3. Before you get your hopes up, remember that Half-Life 2 recently celebrated its 20-year anniversary, and we still don't have any official confirmation from Valve about a follow-up game. All right, people have been talking about this game for years, and we've seen no signs of it. I thought, was it Gabe Newell said that they didn't have any plans to ever make a Half-Life 3.
Yeah, but then again, they sneak up things out there. I mean, Alex was dropped relatively, quickly and surprisingly to the VR scene. And this coming out today, as far as this heavily hyped rumor, I mean, there's several different outlets, whether or not it's ValNet owned or not, but there's several different outlets stating that this is a really solidifying thing. The thing I would ask, let's say Half-Life 3 does get announced, how many people would actually care? This is one of those, like Marathon, for instance. Marathon, which was, it's something I played in the 90s, but I didn't have an Mac. I played it off Macs, other people Macs or whatnot, but I didn't have a Mac originally. I did get a Mac later on, but it's I don't know. It's just, it seems really, kind of iffy whether or not Half-Life 3 will have that same kind of effect, because Half-Life and Half-Life 2 were such good games, storytelling wise. I played through a good portion of them. It doesn't resonate with me as much because I don't revere it like other people do, but I thought it was good. Good. I would really love to see other stuff from Valve, from Epic, and that, like, instead of doing Half-Life 3. But I know, again, if Half-Life 3 gets announced, Josh, will enough people care?
I think that they will eventually. I don't think right off the bat, because I feel like Valve will probably repackage the original 2 Half-Life games and advertise the crap out of it on their platform, which has millions of people playing on it. So I think that it will get interest eventually. The hardcore gamers, of course, will want to play it right away. But I don't know. What do you think? Do you think that is a possibility? You think they'll make you want to play the other ones? I think a console releases for sure would help with this stuff.
I think it'll receive, obviously, notoriety, because there's enough people that you, and especially my age, that is going to be tooting the horn of Half-Life. Oh, Half-Life 3 is out. That'll at least garner some interest on social media. Whether or not it connects with Gen Z is going to remain to be seen. But I think it'll earn some interest, which I'm surprised with Valve, the money that and Epic and all that they make so much money off of the Unreal Engine 2 and that little game that they make. What's it called? Night Fort, I think
Ah,
it's called. Yeah, that one. That they don't really have to make another Half-Life, but if they do, it's because they want to, not because they have to. But that's not the game that they should be making that they brought out of Dead. I know Portal. A lot of people are talking about would they would love to see a
I
new
like
Portal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like Portal 2, but the game that they should be Left 4 Dead 3. That's the one they need to make. That's the
Oh,
one I think that could resonate with an audience
you remember how
because that is
big
so
that
meme
game
worthy.
was? I know, jeez.
That's the one
Everybody's
that's
like,
meme worthy. That's
yeah.
the one that could resonate with social media. I mean, just like throwing a Molotov cocktail. I remember playing with someone and his wife at the time, and we were going through the circus level, and you know we got trapped by the horde, and as they're coming in on us and we're trying to fight them off, the wife, who wasn't a regular game player, threw a Molotov cocktail to the whole mix, including us. So the next thing you're seeing is just everything all lit up while hundreds of zombies are trying to get at you, and it's just like we're and we're burning at the same time. We're being
Gotta love that
attacked by
friendly
zombies.
fire. Yep.
Yes. Yeah, it's that's meme worthy. That's something I think Left 4 Dead 3 would really connect. I know the zombie genre has been done to death. I mean, Days Gone Revisited is an example of that. But I think that Left 4 Dead 3 is hilarious enough and could be procedurally generated enough to really be that fun game that I think Valve should make. So
Well, here's the thing, they don't have to just make one game. I mean, they're a big company, they have the resources, but they don't make games like hardly ever. So I mean, they could definitely do, make several games at once if they wanted to. They just don't do it. It's like Konami, right? Konami makes slot machines, and that's how you know when they actually
they
make
have
it.
they have a building here alongside the Las Vegas airport.
Yeah,
I'll leave it at that for a
exactly.
reason.
So that's how you know when they actually make a game, like the new Metal Gear Solid or Castlevania, that it's going to be worth playing. And I mean, I think Valve is a little more extreme than that, but hopefully, if they are working on something, whatever it is, it's gonna be good, and they feel that it's worth it. Half-Life 3, Portal 3, Left 4 Dead, whatever it is, I hope that it is. I hope that it's good. I mean, again, these are all rumors, so we don't really know anything, but maybe Summer Games, or yeah, Summer Game Fest coming up. Jeff Keighley's saying you at the Xbox conference, PlayStation, lots of places to announce something like this. So this might be a good one to put on the old prediction sheets, I think, and see
I
what
will
happens.
say this: if Left 4 Dead 3 comes out, we got my wallet open. You got my money.
There you go. Pre-order made.
Yes, pre-order made indeed.
Um,
Before we get to opinions on the last topic, I think there's some bad news though coming for the world of gamers out there. I think that you're talking about.
Okay, we got our last story of the day here. This is from Windows Central. This is by Sean Endicott. Xbox price
And
hikes.
this will lead into the last thing we want to discuss here.
So Xbox price hikes hurt its value against PS5 and Microsoft PM. We don't need to worry about that. They say there's no such thing as bad publicity. Microsoft may have some thoughts on that cliche since the tech giant had a rough week recently. Xbox Series X, Series S, and Xbox controller prices all spiked. And Microsoft confirmed games will increase
Headsets too.
Price. Headsets, yes. Games will also increase in price later this year. Here's what their prices posted right now for consoles. We have a Xbox Series S 512 gigabytes will now be $379.99, which I think it was $300 before.
Yes. Actually, $250 if you got it on sale during Christmas time. So
yeah.
like I did.
The Series S 1 terabyte is now $429. I think that came up from that was $300. So no, $350, right? $349. You have the Series X digital is now $549, and that was originally $450.
Actually, I think it was $399 or something like that.
Yeah, sorry guys, I could be wrong on these prices. I'm just trying to go off what I've seen them for at Walmart. Xbox Series X, I know for a fact this was $500, but now it's $600. So that's a $100 price jump there.
To give you an idea, I bought it at a Christmas sale, or actually, it wasn't a Christmas sale. It was actually a brief sale that they had. Xbox dropped it for like I bought it at $350.
Yeah,
That's
well, I
the one
remember
with
seeing
the
that
disk drive.
Sam's Club on sale too.
The
Um,
Diablo 4 one I got. Yeah, it's just
yeah.
crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Now it's $150 more
The
or
last
more.
one, yeah. I mean, it's crazy. Price hikes insane. The last one here, they got the Series X 2 TB Galaxy Black Special Edition. Price raised to $730, man. So this is getting pretty close to the scalped prices that I paid for both my PlayStation and Xbox.
It's
What are
crazy,
your
man.
thoughts, man? I mean, I feel like we're getting to a place where gaming is going to become. I know Microsoft wants to do away with consoles and physical games, but we're getting to a place where it's going to become too expensive for people. I know they just put the Game Pass app on the new LG TVs, but still, like it's getting really hard to be a gamer and not make 6 digits a year, or not 6 digits, sorry, yeah 6 digits a year. It's what are your thoughts here, man? How is this going to affect the rest? How is this going to affect the economy that is video games?
It's going to affect it greatly. I thought this was a blunder by Xbox, especially coming off the goodwill from so many good titles. I would have all this time. I would have promoted the heck out of the Xbox Series S, which is the most popular. By the way, the Series S outsells the X by 3-1, 4-1 margin or something like that. I would have pushed that $299 price tag, especially with the Nintendo Switch 2. You have a more powerful system. Ironically, the Series S is still a more powerful system than the Nintendo Switch 2, and really could have accentuated that, really could have put advertising in there, the Game Pass. Again, it's just sending wrong signals. For everything that you're doing right now on the software side, you just clearly show that you don't give a darn about the hardware side. And it's a shame because they could have reignited people's interest in buying consoles on Xbox again and chose not to do that. And this was a killing blow.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I'm really disappointed with Xbox in that sense. But from what we're seeing on the software side, it's tempering that anger I have because I already have an S and an X. And I'll just go forward to say, at this point in time, they pretty much eschewed the Xbox hardware industry. I'm curious to see if they'll still do the Xbox handheld, which I'm hoping they'll do. I told you on the show that I want a Xbox handheld to do so many of my different things that I want to do with a handheld. But we'll have to wait and see. And their next console, they're supposed to still do another console
right.
generation on top of that, but all that is now up in the air based on these high prices because I don't think they're going to get very much return at this point. It's a shame because they should be promoting their consoles at a cheaper price and they should be promoting Games Pass heavily with all the good stuff that's coming out software wise, but they're not.
Yeah, well, they're also talking about $80 price tags on video games. Like that is, I know they're trying to get people onto Game Pass, but $80 is
Well,
crazy, man.
Nintendo opened the door, Josh.
They
Nintendo
did.
opened the door.
They did. The cat's
Yeah.
out of the bag. Pandora's out of the box.
You cannot be mad at Microsoft for that. You cannot blame Microsoft for that at all because you know what? Nintendo did it first.
Yeah.
And they're just following the money. They're following the industry. PlayStation will do the same thing. They'll jack up the rates on their consoles here in the States. I know they did already around the world. They'll probably do it even higher now because of
Yeah.
the tariffs. And they're going to jack up the price of the games. So this year, get used to 80 is the new 70, which is used to be the old 60, which back in the day used to be still 70 and 80 and 90
Yeah.
back in the day.
That was a short span of time to have such massive jumps in game prices.
Exactly. I mean, we had it good for a while, though. We had it good for a while. So.
We sure did. All right. So what's this extra little thing you want to tack on to this story, man? Tell us about it.
All right. Well, again, because of prices going so high, I wanted to hear your thoughts on this. Okay. Around the pandemic, when people started to go ahead and rediscover certain aspects. I mean, Dungeons and Dragons went huge. Okay, that was weird. Pops, and a whole bunch of other stuff just really started to skyrocket in value and price and interest per se. But one of the things that went and spiked in interest was retro gaming. If you remember, the price values of everything was really went through the roof on valuable ones. But if you're able to just want to play regular games from the PlayStation 4, PlayStation 3, PlayStation era, Nintendo era, you can still get great value games under $30 to this day.
Yeah.
Most games you can get like Retro City Games. They run these 2 for $5 deals on hundreds of games. Almost every 2 or 3 months they do it, and they fly off the shelves because it is still a value game. So I'm asking you this: with all the price hikes of all these consoles and all these, the material, digital and all that stuff, all the price hikes, and the fact that tangible material games may be on its way out, will we see another resurgence of retro gaming? Because it's starting to slide a little bit. It has been sliding a little bit in popularity since the pandemic, and then 2021, 2022. But with the high prices of Nintendo Switch 2, Xbox, and soon to be PlayStation, do you think people will return to the glory days and be able to get away with buying, like, let's say, an N64 or a PlayStation 2 or a PlayStation for and a few games for under $100 and leave it at that?
I think so, but I also feel like this is going to it has a ripple effect. Anytime prices raise in video games, there's a ripple effect, right? So it's going these price hikes are going to cause the price of retro games to go up. But the interest in retro games will also cause the prices to go up. Even with like the video game grading system, we're seeing a lot of valuable games disappearing from the market to be sealed behind cases. So will it grow? Yes, I think so, but will it be better or worse than COVID? It's hard to say, man, because I'm seeing around on blogs and stuff, a lot of people are talking about the same thing that you are. Like, maybe it's time to go back to the hits and really let the video game companies know that like this like $80, you buy 5 games and it's more than buying the console itself. So I think we're reaching a point where people are ready to say are ready to make that statement, which is going to it's going to create more interest, but it's also going to create higher prices. So I think that people should definitely I think it's going to create interest in backlogs as well. Like, I mean, you go back to the even PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4 stuff you bought before and never played, people are going to start going back to them.
I have emulation as far as a hard drive, and I know that Brian said, "Don't say that, don't say it." You can't say that because they have videos and YouTube channels do this already. Emulation stuff. I got a handheld and a drive that I don't touch enough, and I don't play enough. Well, guess what? After Oblivion, after Gears of War Reloaded, if I don't like any of the new stuff that comes out, I could just easily turn off my Game Pass and go and play one of the 100,000 plus games that I have on emulation. So,
I agree.
There you go. And it's available to me, and a lot of people will be getting it. I have a feeling a lot of people may turn to that as these price hikes get more and more. And even though we talked about GTA 6 next year, just destroying whatever records for the entertainment industry, I still think a lot of people, just out of necessity, still want to game for entertainment, be looking for cheaper alternatives. And if you do, go to your local game store, not the game stop shops. Yes, the mom and pop shops, the Retro City Games here in Las Vegas, the local mom and pop shops that are around. You're able to find tons of games on older systems at below $10, which are still playable to this day. And I hope you take advantage of it if you do.
Yes. All right. This baby's got a hot diaper, man. I gotta get this baby changed and put her back to bed.
There's a prank joke in there somewhere, but I won't quite say where.
All right. Any closing thoughts before we head out, man?
Just play games. I know that a couple things we got to talk about in the future, and hopefully we can get an additional guest along with Brank for this. We talk about remakes we want to see, and gaming journalism, which I know is really something that hits both you and I as journalism graduates. So, yeah.
Yes, I agree. Yes, sir. All right. Until next time, it's been a pleasure. Peace.
See you, Owen. Have a great day and play some video games.
Super. BS.